And welcome back to the Niagara Learning Channel. We're going to take a history and we're going to use series transform, and we're going to display it on a nice graph. Now I've just chosen this at the moment, Downing House biomass kilowatts used daily, giving us every day what the kilowatts have used. So when you got a 0 there, that means that the biomass would have been down that day and there would have been a fault with it, so it wouldn't have been producing any energy. And when you see a start there, that means that the station's been rebooted. And again, we've got a 0 there, but that day is a 0. So what I'm going to do is, in the Downing House folder, biomass, I'm going to view that. I don't want that, I want the wire sheet. And then I'm going to get my series transform. Where are we? Series transform. And I'm going to bring in a transform graph. And then inside that, I'm going to bring in a history source. And then we need to select the history source, that one that we were looking at. Double check that that is right, and it isn't. So history, and we want Downing House, and biomass, kilowatt hours used, biomass, kilowatt hours used daily. That's my history. And we'll do the time range on year to date. Go OK there. So that's telling us where the history is it's looking at there. I'm going to go into my nodes and I'm going to go roll up, put that in there, take that output from there, put it into there, and I'm going to basically go, well, let's put the points in. I'm going to put all the points in there, and then I'm going to delete that one, delete that one, delete that one. I want minimum on this, maximum on this one. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. And we do that daily. OK. And then we need a terminal at the end. Out into there. And then if we right click that now and resolve graph, we should see some data, which we do. Exactly like looking at the sheet, the history. So I'm just going to rename that Downing biomass max. I'm going to duplicate that, average, and duplicate again, minimum. That's going to be minimum. And that's going to be average. And we'll put that as value there. Value average. And that's going to be value max. It's all lowercase I'm doing this for. And that's going to be value minimum. Value minimum. So that's all of them done. Views wire sheet. Now we've got to make the graphic. So I'll go into my files down here. Let's just close these. We don't need any of this rubbish here. Just some adjustments that we're doing on these sites. On the electrical meter. And you might as well show you while you're here. Basically, I've done a peak tracker. We're tracking the peaks, using the peak tracker, the Vicon peak tracker, getting the total, taking one away from the other, subtracting them, and then getting what kilowatts have been used per month. And then I'm basically taking one away the other to see what savings we're getting. Anyway, I digress. It's nothing to do with what we're doing here. I want Downing, don't I? Sites, Solihull. And I don't know, let's just put a new look at that there. Downing House. See if we've got anywhere where we can put a graph. Biomass info. Yeah, we could probably stick a graph in there. If I move these around a little bit. Put that up there. Move them. One on top of each other. Oops. Like so. And we can put one in there. So, but what we'll do is we'll make a separate PX sheet. So, views. And we want what am I doing here? Cancel. New. That's giving me, because I'm in sites. Arts histories. I will get this right in a minute. Solihull, PX pages. Charts, electric meters, heat meters. We could put it in there. In fact, no, let's just make another one. And yeah, I presume we could put it in charts. Yeah, we keep that saved there. We'll go back to that in a minute. New PX file. And this is Downing. Biomass. Open up that. Then let's go to our dashboard. Let's go into edit mode. Maybe a little bit too big that, but not to worry. And then we're going to put our dashboard pane in there. So your dashboard service will be in your services. So if you look at services, when we can get out of all that lot, we look at services, there'll be a dashboard service somewhere here. And if it's not, it needs to be in there. There it is. There's your dashboard service. So anyway, we put a pane in there. And we can expand it out to whatever size we want to play with. I don't think it's going to be that big, to be honest with you. But let's just do it to there at the moment. And we're going to put this data in this content here. So all I'm going to do is find where I did my Downing House. Here we go, these points here. So take our minimum, our series transform, and drop it onto there. And it's a workbench view. No, it's going to be a chart. And what should we do? From palette, and we'll click web chart, and going to be a chart, and go OK. I then want to take that and I want to add another WB view binding, and then I want to add a second. So we've got 3 in total WB view boundings. Take that one, Control key C, paste that into there, component chooser, and that's going to be the average, and we take that one, paste that into the component chooser, and that's going to be our max. Okay, so those are our three different ones. Let's come out to edit mode and let's just play with this at the moment now. So we need to, let's go for year to date, and I don't want that. I want to go into settings. I don't want sampling. I want where I was, these. See what that looks like. So 154.3 kilowatts minimum, 158 average, and maximum was 163. Didn't do much biomass on February, March, April. Let's just see what we've got. Oh, we won't have last year, will we? No, it is giving us last year's. There. That's actually a nice touch, to be honest. Let's just change some of these colours. Let's have that one as, I don't know, and leave that there, and we'll have that as a, okay, so that was Downing House biomass last year. Let me save that. So because we've got the dashboard, we put the dashboard across, we can save all these, and then a new user that comes in and logs in differently to you, he can change it, or she can change it to whatever colours they want. If it was my wife, it'd be something like pink, purple, and some other bright colour, and the text will be bloody script that I can't read, script font or whatever. But anyway, that's how you do your series transform, and taking a history and giving it a nice graph. I think that's about it, isn't it? I don't think we need to cover anything else. If we do, then mention it in the comments section, and I'll pick it up later. Thanks for watching.